If the year so far has felt like exposure, not failure, but exposure, you're not behind. You're carrying an activation that no longer has a legitimate target. And here's what most people will try to do. They'll try to fix this in the wrong manner. The proof that you are still trying to generate, the output, the performance, the results, the visibility, they are no longer aligned with where you are right now. Instead, they're aligned with your past self, where you were at one point in time. So, what I'm talking about is not working less, neither is it lowering your standards. It's about realizing that you are moving full capacity towards coordinates that moved months ago. And here's the trap, because the drive is actually real, it's tangible, you think that the coordinates must be real too. Hi, and welcome back to this channel. I'm Vibhuti, your performance and authority trainer and coach. I believe that authority is not personality, it is nervous system training to build capacity. And that's exactly what we do together on this channel. What we are talking about in this video is what I call proof-seeking displacement. This system explains that while you have leveled up, your identity has not updated. Your nervous system is still running past programs. The early months of this year, January, February, were notification events. That's when the dissonance became undeniable. But most people misinterpret this. They think that I am not enough yet. That's wrong. The fact is that you are too much for the hierarchy you are still trying to prove yourself within. And here's what makes it invisible. The activation feels real. So you assume that the target must be real too. It's not. You're not actually trying to prove that you are enough. You're trying to prove something to a version of reality that no longer exists. You're experiencing what neuroscience calls residual goal activation. Your brain encoded a goal, you met it, but your self concept did not update. So neurologically, the goal never closed. It's like an open tab that's still drawing energy. So you get the outcome, but you don't get the closure. Your basal ganglia, the structure in your brain that drives habit loops and goal pursuits, still keeps firing. This is momentum without real meaning because your reality has shifted. This is why you feel restless, not satisfied. You have given up on the activation, but because it hasn't achieved closure yet, it keeps on pointing at coordinates that no longer exist in your current reality. This in turn affects the anterior cingulate cortex, which detects a mismatch between expected state and actual state. This in turn results in you experiencing threat. Even after achieving a goal, you do not feel relief, you feel threat. And here's the part that most people miss. The harder you try to resolve this, the worse it will become. Let me show you why. Your nervous system interprets the gap between the expected state and the actual state as something is wrong and that it needs to prove harder. But the real problem is not effort at all. It's calibration. Now, if you're thinking my brain is stuck, you're actually understanding this correctly and you are in the right place. Because now I'm going to show you the exact mechanism that keeps you locked in this loop. This is the identity hierarchy calibration loop. On the left is what you are experiencing now. In the current or broken loop, you are proving to the old hierarchy. This results in the proof-seeking activation kicking in. The goal is generated, but here is where it breaks. You have met the goal, but your identity did not update. So you experience dissonance. And that dissonance triggers residual activation. This residual activation feeds back into proof seeking and the loop repeats. This is why working harder is not going to resolve it. Because the solution does not lie in the effort, it lies in achieving alignment. The problem is misalignment. Now look at the right side. This is the recalibration loop. This starts with the current reality. You update your identity first and then the activation realigns. Effort becomes meaning aligned output and you get neurological closure. So you might be wondering, how do I know if I'm in the old loop or the new loop? Here's the test. The difference is not intensity. It's orientation. You're not actually trying to prove less. You're trying to prove to the right hierarchy. The old loop is very dangerous. I've seen it destroy many high performers who were stuck in it for years. A client who was a senior executive had just closed a major project. In fact, a career defining project. He should have felt complete, satisfied. But what he felt instead was pure panic. He was agitated with questions like, what's next? What do I prove next? So when we started working together, we mapped this. We found that he was still operating in a hierarchy that was from his 30s, proving to mentors who no longer had authority over his current reality. Seeking validation from a peer group he had outgrown. The activation was real because his nervous system still thought so. But the target was a ghost, and he had been running the same pattern since his promotion years ago. Once we recalibrated, updated his identity map, and realigned his activation to the actual current reality, the restlessness within him dissolved. This wasn't because he lowered his standards, but because he raised his orientation. So here's what's true. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're not failing. You're actually running high capacity activation on coordinates that no longer exist. The past couple of months have already exposed this. This did not break you. It's given a new perspective to you. It has already started orienting you. The proof that you've been trying to generate, it's not wrong. It's just pointing at the wrong hierarchy, your past loop. You're not sending a message to the wrong person. You're sending it to the wrong address completely. So you don't need to prove more. You need to recalibrate where you are proving and why. You've already left that hierarchy. Now you need to update your system, update your identity. If this landed, if you felt the recognition, you are ready for the next layer, the identity lag protocol. It's the systematic process to close the gap between who you've become and who you are still performing for. That's the next video. Fair warning, it's not theory, it's actual practice, and it demands your commitment. It's the actual recalibration system. Watch it only when you are ready to build it. If you are a leader who's invested and committed to their growth and want to go deeper into such protocols, you can join the waitlist to my program. The link is in the bio. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next one.